Hey, I'm Krista Wex. You are listening to MSP Sound on KFAI, and I have Joyann Parker here via Zoom. Hi.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. So thrilled that you're here. We're talking about your brand new album, Out of the Dark.
Yes, I'm excited. It's been a long time coming with all of this stuff going on.
I am sure. Was
Yeah.
this kind of more of your anticipated release date? Because it comes out okay. February
Yeah,
12th.
no. Yeah, February 12th. No, it was supposed to be out in June. We started recording a year ago, in January. And it was supposed to be out in June, and then we couldn't get back in the studio after, of course, March. So I think we didn't get back in the studio till August, really, maybe late July. And of course, then we couldn't be in together. So we were going in separately and getting things done. And at that point, I just was okay with whatever happened. I just wanted to get it done the way I wanted to get it done. And so we ended up, my publicist, I thought I would get it out in January maybe. And then my publicist said, just with, timing, because publicists know all about when you should release things. So she said February would be good. So that's where we landed.
Wow. Well, that's
Yeah.
quite the journey.
Yeah. Yes.
How did you stay motivated to, keep up? Or, I mean, you feel I sense that there's a lot of motivation on your end, regardless of what's going on. But how,
Yeah.
like, recording an album, having to stop and start, like, how did?
It was hard. It was really hard. I went through a period of writer's block, just kind of wanting to give up. It was hard. It was really hard because you're like, this was the first time we'd had a real producer. I mean, we did it kind of ourselves the last time. And so I thought, I was all excited that we would be able to get in and get it done. And I would have to, because when you do it yourself, it takes a long time because you're going, well, can I come to your house at this time? And you're trying to get everybody there when they can. And it just ends up taking a long time. So I thought for sure this was going to be much smoother. And then it ended up definitely not being smoother. So I went through a really hard time there in March and April and May, of just not really wanting to do much. So to keep myself motivated, we started doing the live streams and stuff, but I didn't do any original music. We did a request show, and then we did a old school gospel hour on Sundays. So there was a weird time there for me. But then when we finally started being able to go back outside and things, then I kind of got myself back into it. And but it was hard. But the good thing is that I ended up writing another song during that time, and it's actually the title track. So I wrote the title track during the summer, so I wouldn't have had that had this not happened. So that was one of the good things that came out of it.
Wow. Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I feel like musicians, you've had it the worst, I think. I mean, like, everyone has everything bad to a degree during the pandemic, but I feel like things have been especially bad because pretty much everything is shut down for the most part.
It was really hard, especially, a lot of people do music for a hobby, and that's fine. And I'm sure that they were, it was upsetting to them as well. But there are a lot of us who this is our job. And so it was, you feel kind of unseen, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, because it's like, what about me? We're here too. And so it was, do you know what I'm saying? It's like the real job thing. I always feel kind of like that. Like, what's your job? And you tell people you're a musician, and they're like, oh, I see. It's like not a real job. And so it was, it's hard for a little bit there to, I don't know what I'm trying to say really, but I think in general as a musician, you feel kind of unseen as having a profession sometimes, you know what I mean? Unless you're super famous. So does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, because I'm sure, like, when you're like, yeah, I'm a musician, and people are like, but what do you really do?
Right, exactly. Like, what's your day job?
Yeah.
Like, no, this is my job. And I'm out of work now. But people were really good to us. Mark and I did these online streams, and a lot of our fans took care of us financially through that time, just donating and things. And so there were a lot of really uplifting things during that time too. And it wasn't all bad.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I feel like you somehow found a way to make it work. I feel like you've really been hustling for a pandemic and all these goofy shutdowns across, multiple states. Well, multiple states, the whole country,
The whole country.
working. Yeah, the whole country, everybody, not just a few states.
Yeah.
Just dealing with things on a different level. I feel like you're out and performing a lot. How is that going? Like, what are you? How? Like,
We just take whatever we can. As I was just saying before we started recording, I think you want to get to a point in your career where you stop playing certain venues, right? Where you're like, okay, I'm kind of beyond playing the dive bar. I am now playing the Dakota. And because you don't want to devalue yourself at some point, right? And you're touring, and you're doing good clubs, and you're getting paid more. And then something comes in like COVID and basically just levels the playing field all the way back down. And for me, the most important thing is staying connected to people, staying connected to my fans and my friends and whatever. And so we can't bring the whole band everywhere, obviously, anymore. We could during the summer. We were blessed to be able to play at Crooners outside a lot and Mick Sterling's gigs and things like that. So we were able to take the band those places. But Mark and I just decided, we were going to really improve our duo game. And we just went wherever we could be outside for the whole summer. So we played a lot of outside gigs all summer long, and basically wherever I could, because like I said, when the playing field gets leveled like that, you go, okay, well, what's my goal here? I don't want to be pretentious and say, well, I'm not going to play there, because my goal, if your goal is mine, which is to just be in front of people and share the gift you have. And so that's what I did. And we just found wherever we could to play, pizza farms and, patios and whatever we could do. And yeah. And then of course in the fall here we got shut down again, and we haven't really played that much, but now we're back on it again. And we have these, we have a couple live streams scheduled, and, we have a few live in-person shows coming up at Crooners and at Chanhassen. And so I think it's just really important to stay visible, to stay in front of people and connected to them. So we did whatever we could.
what was the most unusual show during this time? Was there one or you can't say, that's fine too. You can tell me.
Yeah, no, I don't know if there was anything super weird, but people stick we got stuck in a few weird places because people made patios out of nothing. You know what I mean? People trying to go, we don't have a patio, but we have one now. It's right here. A lot of, because I felt so bad for these venues. They want to stay open, so they're making these outdoor spaces. So there were some places that were just uncomfortable, but not super weird.
Okay.
maybe very small.
Okay.
Maybe that was more of the problem. Just like, we have this 3-foot space. Can you fit over there? Is that okay?
A DIY patio.
Yes, yeah, for sure. We just played in a horse barn last weekend though, so.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah. We did a private show, and they wanted to, keep it was kind of, it was a big space, so they wanted to be able to spread out. So yeah, so we played in the horse barn.
Are there horses in there?
There were not in there, right?
Okay.
No, I think we were outside while we were in there.
Okay. That could have been fun too.
I know, right? Yeah, never know.
Never know.
Keep things interesting.
Right. I'm sure. Yeah. Not only have musicians like you have to really, adapt to this new normal, for this temporary new normal, hopefully, but geez, all these venues are also, and Crooners has just been really upping their game with each season.
Yeah. And what a blessing those people are. I feel like that's my second home. I've been playing there since the very beginning of my career, but 7 years ago or whatever. And I've been there through all the changes, all the stage upgrades and room upgrades and stuff. And man, they, Mary and Andrew and everybody out there, their main goal is to support the local music scene and musicians on tour and things. It's like, they're just so wonderful, and they've just done everything they possibly can to keep us working, and it's just so great.
You have your album release show is at Crooners.
Yes, and also one at the Dakota. Yeah, we have a couple coming up. So yeah,
that's go ahead. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The one at the Dakota is first, so that's actually on the release weekend.
Okay.
So that one's going to be really special because of course when you release something, you want to be able to tour with it normally, you know, you want to be able to go out and so I thought, well, I'm probably going to go broke, but I'm going to do this really, really well. So we're hiring, I hired all the horn players that were on the record, and Paul Masich was on the record. He's going to be there. So background singers. And so we're going to do it just like the record. So everything sounds amazing, because I want people across the country to be able to watch it too, not just everybody in the city. So I thought, we're going to do that, have this big, really big party and make it really great. And then the next weekend we will do our couple in-person shows at Crooners, which will be wonderful to see faces in front of me when I play, because I like the lives. I mean, the live streams are great because, again, people anywhere can watch it. I love that, but I really want to see faces in front of me, because that's you know, that's the ultimate experience for a performing musician.
Yeah. Oh, how exciting. That's a couple of very fun dates. So Dakota live stream is album release weekend, and then a couple in person. And the Crooners has, I mean, they've upgraded their, I don't even know, the vents.
They put a ventilation system in, so it's super high grade ventilation system. Well, the thing, what they did is they took out the ceiling. So they raised the ceiling. So, you know, it had a kind of a low ceiling in there, that drop ceiling. So they raised the ceiling, so it feels completely different in there. And of course, they've taken, you know, half the tables out, so it's very nice and spread out. And they made the stage bigger. They have raised seating, so if you're in the back, you are actually up now, so you can see. It's the room is wonderful. I was just out there actually for a photo shoot the other day, so I got to see the whole thing, and it's really great. They're just really doing everything right.
Wow, that's so exciting. Yeah, they were doing such great, you know, tent concerts outdoors this summer, and then very exciting that they have really just quickly adapted to this.
They've been working this whole shutdown. I mean, they've been working this whole time. I mean, they have people out there working 30 hours a week doing this remodel. So they've been putting in a lot of work. They're very dedicated people. I mean, and really, again, it's because they want to support musicians. You know what I mean? That's Mary's main goal, really. You know, she wouldn't have to do this. She has her own whole other business. You know, she has her Mary T business, but she does Crooners because she loves it. And it's so great.
That's so refreshing and lovely to hear. Like, of course, I love local music, so I love anyone that's supporting it in any way, especially during this. Where can people find your album?
You can go right to joyannparker.com. That's the best place, because, of course, then I get all the proceeds. I don't have to share it with Spotify or anybody else. So that's the best place to order. And that's really the only place you can get the physical product if you're still a dinosaur like me and like CDs. I would say you can use it as a coaster too, if you just want the memoir. But if you want the physical product, you can get it at joyannparker.com. You can also download the digital version there as well. And it's on pre-order right now, but because I am leaving for Florida tomorrow, I'm probably going to release it early. So if you go and order now, you'll probably get it early. But it will be on the 12th when it comes out. It will be everywhere. It'll be on Apple Music and Spotify and Amazon and all those places.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Congrats on the new album, Joyann.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll look for you on these live streams and these socially distant shows at pizza farms, horse barns, DIY patios.
Yeah, right.
Never know where you're going to pop up next. And
coming to a sidewalk near you.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
You bet. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.